Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is going on this Friday evening? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and we are currently here live for my live review of this past week's episode of AEW Dynamite, the May 25th, 2022 edition of Dynamite. This show took place at the Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. And of course, it is the go-home show to this Sunday's pay-per-view on May 29th, 2022, AEW Double or Nothing. And this was a good go-home show. It definitely was not as explosive as, you would think a go-home show would be. It was still good. I think the thing is for us AEW fans, I think a lot of people are already looking past Double or Nothing, and they're more so looking forward to Forbidden Door, which, I'm going to be honest, I'm excited for that too. Again, I don't watch much New Japan, but, with, some of my friends who watch, more besides like AEW, WWE, with AEW bringing some talent from Impact to wrestle like Deonna Purrazzo, Big Cass. By the way, the person who called Deonna Purrazzo fat, screw you. Big Cass, a few others. We've seen a couple Japanese wrestlers come in there here and there as well. To me, it was very. Again, this is another reason why I love AEW, because I feel like that they're not doing just what they're doing. They're also trying to, give a rub to, these other promotions as well. And it makes you intrigued. So having a show like Forbidden Door is very well forbidden for AEW. So if you are looking past Double or Nothing, I can understand, but don't sleep on it. It's going to be a good show. It may not quite top off Revolution. It's still going to be good. It may not top off Full Gear. It may not top. I don't think it's going to top off All Out from last September. No, that's still to me the best AEW pay-per-view for sure. But I still think it's going to be a pretty good show. That main event still especially is still pretty darn unpredictable. I'm still trying to figure out before I do my predictions tonight who I want to win that main event. It's so unpredictable. But I think Rampage is actually on now, I think. Or recently, I'm not sure. But I don't crap, I've lost train of thought. Crap, I totally lost my train of thought. But I'm sorry. There's a lot of I don't know. But yeah, I lost train of thought. Sorry, people coming inside. My dad's having a poker night tonight. But I don't know. I'm thinking it's gonna be a great show. Oh yeah, Rampage. I think Rampage is on now, so I was gonna wait till after Rampage was over to do my preview and predictions, just in case there weren't any few last minute matches, and also to get the definite match for the women's Owen Hart Cup tournament as well. If it is on, you can guys tell me the results. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Rampage recently has given me the inkling to watch it. I just need a breather at times. So that's why I still don't watch Rampage. I just watch Dynamite. But let's talk about this show, and then I will make the graphics and get set up for the preview and predictions. I plan on doing some live reactions. I'm going to be watching the show on Sunday with my friend Joe, his fiance, and of course their cat, Prancer. Joe wanted to do live reactions for the whole show. Not a bad idea, but I like to break up my live reactions for sure. So we're going to do some matches, do live reactions for. Definitely that main event. Still trying to decide which other ones I want to do live reactions for. Tyler thought the show was boring. Again, I know Tyler's not the biggest AEW fan. That's totally okay, buddy. He's no AEW kiss ass. I'm not either, but I'm just saying I love AEW. But if you don't, that's okay, buddy. But let's roll on and talk about the show. I do want to get downstairs and say hi to the people who are stopping by our place tonight. The show opens up with the steel cage match, with Wardlow and Shawn Spears, and MJF is the special guest referee. This is the last of the conditions and stipulations that Wardlow had to go through to get his match with MJF this Sunday on Dynamite. Now, as I said last week in my review for Dynamite last week, at first I thought they were going to almost repeat what they did with MJF and Cody Rhodes. 10 lashes, steel cage match. But I like how they kind of did the opposite. They made it look like it was a challenge for Cody. This time, they tried to make it a challenge for Wardlow, but Wardlow is able to just outdo it all with no problem. So just the 10 lashes. Barely gave barely gave Wardlow, any trouble. The steel cage match with MJF special guest referee, he just had to, basically flip them on each other by accident. There was a spot in the match where Shawn Spears went for the chair shot on Wardlow with MJF holding him. And when Spears went to hit the chair, Wardlow ducked, and MJF was the one who took the chair shot. Felt knocked out, and Spears is like, oh my gosh. Well, get it over with, big man. And the Powerbomb Symphony and Wardlow won the match. I think before the match, when they brought out Wardlow with the handcuffs on, he got into the ring, he ripped the cuffs off and started brawling with Spears, and he wasted no time. But of course, when security comes to escort Wardlow out of the building, he starts brawling with them again. I think he actually took one and threw them into the steel, and they fell smoothly too, with no bumping at all. Smoothly fell right in between the cage and the outside of the ring, which was very smooth, very neat, I thought for sure. And of course, Wardlow climbed the cage as MJF had escaped, and he's like, "You." So basically, MJF's toast. There's no way this match on Sunday is going to be that long. I would think it's going to be a legitimate squash match, but it's going to somewhat be like. You see, I know people hated the way. Some people hated the way the match went, but remember in Fastlane 2017 when Kevin Owens fought Goldberg? I think it's going to be something like that, where MJ's going to kind of wander out of the ring, play the mind games, and then the moment Wardlow gets his hands on him, squash. That's what it's going to be. So that should be good. Of course, we'll probably talk about that same thing when we get to my review, my predictions later on tonight. Afterwards, we have the Jericho Appreciation Society walking backstage. They run into a crew member wearing a Jon Moxley t-shirt. They harass Moxley. The fan. And Jericho blows a fireball in the guy's face. So I guess Jericho's legitimate gimmick now is him blowing in fireballs in people's faces. He did to Eddie recently. May get one on Sunday. Who knows? Tony Schiavone was in the ring for the face-to-face confrontation between CM Punk and Hangman Adam Page. They both came out. Tony leads off by talking about the finisher borrowing and back and forth talk, and goes to Punk first. Punk says it's safe to say that the biggest moment of his career happened right here in Vegas. And he's grateful to be in the position he is in, and he loves all of us and plans on walking out of Double or Nothing as champion. When asked about Punk's confidence, Paige says he said exactly what he's going to do, and there's nothing that Punk can do to take the title from him. But Punk says he's not sure why Hangman is taking this so personally. Possibly the toughest son of a bitch on the roster, and he's the champ for a reason. There's a locker room full of people like him waiting for a shot, and this, for Punk, is just business. But then Paige says he hasn't been waiting for this moment for weeks, but for months. He was ready to sit on top of that ramp and lay a pipe bomb and roll it down and watch it blow up in his face. How good it would feel, and how would it come full circle for him, but now they're here in this moment, he realizes he can't do it. Not because he's afraid, that's for sure, but more he thinks about what he wants to say. He thinks about what Punk would do. And he's not thinking about his pettiness or cowardice. He just thinks it's not the right thing to do. and he's going to lay out how he feels. He doesn't hate Punk, but he does pity him, and he has no respect for what he's done since getting here. He thinks he wants the title, but he doesn't get it. It's not about what happens in the ring. It's what happens after the red lights turn off. The small, quiet moments in the ring, Punk talks a big game. But Paige loves this place and cares about it, and this is his home. On Sunday, he won't be defending the title against Punk. He'll be defending AEW from Punk. Paige hands the mic back, and Punk says he doesn't get why he's taking this so personally. He's a little confused. He's talking in circles like this big riddle. But if he's so upset he's here, has to do something about it on Sunday. Win, lose, or fall, remember that those roads Paige traveled to get here, Punk paved those roads and chopped the trees down and made the lumber that makes this house. AEW happened because he gave the blueprint, and Hangman will shake his hand on Sunday. As a matter of fact, he wants him to shake it now. All that misplaced anger, you're not mad at Punk. You're mad at yourself. Hangman will refuse the handshake, then Punk shoves at Paige, and Paige just decks him in the face. This build, again, has really been so good. The fact that, like I said, it's so hard to pick a winner. Like, they do sometimes do this typical, 1 week the one person to face, the person to heel. It's like they show both sides to basically help you, basically have you more so like pick and choose. They're being more generic. Which one, generically, who would you want to see win? But these two being themselves. Honestly, if both of them done such a good job, I still can't pick who I want to win. And I like how, they're doing this thing where, Paige, Punk, although he's doing the mind games getting Paige's head, he's saying, this ain't personal, it's business. But Paige is like, I don't like how you do things, and I'm defending AEW from you, basically. So, who's going to win this? I still don't know. But man, this is indeed one of the toughest matches for me to predict a winner. I still have no clue who I want to pick to win this. Maybe I'll decide by the time I get to my predictions later. Who knows? But that was a really good face-to-face promo. We get a video package advertising Jade Cargill's going to be having a TBS title defense against Anna Jay on Sunday. Random, since Anna Jay really hasn't had much TV time lately, but we'll see how that goes. William Regal's already on commentary, and then Chris Jericho enters to join him, but then Chris gets on the mic briefly and cuts his music, and he taunts the crowd. And then we didn't have Jericho Appreciation Society stay out there, and Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley have a solid match with private parties, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn. Eddie and John win with a paradigm shift from Moxley on Cassidy, but afterwards, the Jericho Appreciation Society rushed the ring and beat Moxley and Kingston down. Both Danielson, Ortiz, and Santana make the save. The referee sworn to break it up, and Jericho and Daniel said, brawl. We're getting some type of match, some type of no holds barred. They're not calling it Stadium Stampede. They're calling it. Let me check see what they're calling this. Let me see. I can't remember what it was called. It was something Anarchy. Come on, what is it? Gotta pull it up here. Double or nothing. It's title, Owen Hart. Where is it? Mixed trios. Six-man tag, the Hardys. Oh, Anarchy in the Arena. That's what they're calling it. Probably just have like a no-holds-barred match, basically. Which, again, will be awesome. For sure. That's one I'm probably going to do. That main event, the main event definitely did a lot of reactions for. I may do some also for that 10-man tag match. That Anarchy in the Arena match. We also have a match with FTR taking on Roppongi Vice, which is Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta for the ROH World Tag Titles. Match was good, But what mattered afterwards, this is, I think, one of the first matches they're setting up probably for Forbidden Door. We have the United Empires, Jeff Cobb and Great Khan. I think they're Will Ospreay stable, like it is. They come out and they start attacking FTR. So I guess they're teasing some sort of a tag title match, maybe, between these two at Forbidden Door. Okay, a good way to, kind of like, not to, go too far past Double or Nothing, but to start teasing something past Double or Nothing. So I like that. I like that finish for sure. After that, we also have a promo where the Hardy Boys are talking about the similarities between them and the Young Bucks, their background, their dreams, but that's where the similarities end. The Hardys broke in the 90s, and the culture was much harder, and the Bucks could not have survived their culture. Jeff admits they're not in their prime, they're in their overprime, and Matt adds that they'll never be better than them. They'll always be better than the two of the teams, from babies to mid-age and extreme. That's another match. I know for sure I definitely want to do live reactions for that Young Bucks and Hardys match. Like, any of these matches to me, even though they've had before outside WWE, of course, like somewhere else, any of these Young Buck matches are just dream matches to me. I love for sure. Speaking of awesome matches, there was a very great triple threat match with Jungle Boy Jack Perry, Absolute Ricky Starks, and Swerve Strickland, the smaller guys from the teams in a triple threat match, warming up for this triple threat match again on Sunday. That's another match. I'm definitely doing live reactions for that tag title match on Sunday. But this is an awesome match there. Again, Ricky Starks, underrated for sure as a heel. Jungle Boy, we have Jungle Boy. And Swerve Strickland, who's still, of course, finding his footing in AEW. He could easily find that footing with the tag titles. Spoiler alert there for my predictions. This was awesome. My favorite was still when I think they did like that Frankenstein or whatnot, and on Swerve, and Swerve just landed on his feet like it was nothing. Like, that was awesome. Like, these three guys as single stars, even though they may not have been fully, developed yet, well, Jungle Boy's been here for a while. Same with Ricky Starks. It's more so Shane Swerve, who, is trying to get his turn in the spotlight. They're going to be great single stars. There's no doubt about it. Jungle Boys could be coming very soon, though. Talk about that in my Double or Nothing predictions. But Swerve Strickland wins with a diving double stomp on Ricky Starks. Afterwards, the big men of the group run out. Will Hobbs, Luchasaurus, and then Keith Lee. And then Keith Lee, slowly but surely is showing more and more and more. Hits the slingshots into a tornillo on Hobbs and Luchasaurus. Something like a corkscrew, dive over the top ropes. Again, he's not going all out yet. But I feel like every time I've seen Keith wrestle, he's given me enough where it's like he's giving me more, but he's not giving me too much more. And it's a satisfying feeling. Because in NXT, I felt it took a while for them to really get Keith going. But then, of course, once they let him go, bam, he was off to the races. We also have Dan Lambert cutting a promo with the Men of the Year, talking about how he has a custom TNT title made for Scorpio Sky presented to him at Rampage on Friday. Thunder Rosa was interviewed without her makeup on and says how this is the real her. She's grateful for being the women's champ. She calls Serena Deeb out as not having championship material, and maybe she should look in the mirror and blame herself. This face used to look out for her, but not anymore. And on Sunday, the war paint will be on, and she'll teach her a lesson of respect. That'll also be a pretty good match for sure. I think Thunder Rosa's probably going to retain, but I will mention a little proposition of this one when I get to my predictions, for sure. Red Velvet was being interviewed, upset over Chris Statlander beating her, and then Ruby rolls up and gives Ruby her how to deal with Chris Statlander notebook and storms off. Ruby's like, I don't need it. She's taking on Chris Statlander on Rampage tonight. We have one dream match for me. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Toni Storm in a semifinals match of the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament. Of course, the winner of Ruby Soho and Chris Statlander take on the winner of this match. And it was definitely good. Of course, though, off of a distraction, and Britt sits down to a counter with a seated pin. I think so distracted from the outside. Britt Baker beats Toni Storm. So this is a good match. Definitely, though, someday, these two women are going to main event a pay-per-view, I think. This is definitely a dream match. You didn't want to, it was like Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin. You didn't want to, give it too much when you did the first time, but enough to make you want to see a second match. That's what this one did, and I still think, again, this should be a pay-per-view match, and it could very well main event a show. But Britt wins, so she'll take on either Ruby Soho or Chris Statlander. I'm Brittany Ruby Soho in the finals. And then we have the men's final semifinal match, Samoa Joe and Kyle O'Reilly. The winner, of course, would face Adam Cole this Sunday for the cup. Which I like how, of course, it was Samoa Joe, never faced before apparently, and Kyle O'Reilly, which, yes, they made something that the Undisputed Elite, with Red Dragon and Adam Cole are fighting again after O'Reilly and Cole did feud at the end of their runs in NXT. So it was nice tease seeing them possibly fight again, but of course didn't happen. Good match though. Samoa Joe does get the victory with a referee stoppage with the Coquina Clutch, and Kyle O'Reilly passes out. And afterwards, Adam Cole comes down to the stage to stare down, and that's one of the matches we're getting, Adam Cole and Samoa Joe, which would be pretty awesome. Who will win the cups? You'll find out in my predictions. Definitely think both of them, though, can go either way. We'll talk about them in my predictions in a little bit. And with that being said, guys, that's my review of Dynamite this week. I gave the show a B+. Again, Double or Nothing is going to be great. Don't sleep on it. Again, I know you're more excited for Forbidden Door. Don't sleep on it, though. I mean that. Live show, we have Anthony say, are you doing your predictions for Double or Nothing this Sunday or no? Again, I'm doing them tonight. I gotta make the graphics still. Again, I just want to make sure there's no more matches added in there. And Tyler says Punk is going to win the title, he thinks. Okay. And that does it, guys. So, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go downstairs, say hi to some people who are stopping by playing poker with my dad. And I will come up here, start working on my my graphics and my predictions for Double or Nothing. So stay tuned for that, guys, to come later on tonight. And of course, I will also, when I do that, decide which matches I would like to do live reactions for. So that does it, guys. And also, of course, Double or Nothing will be, and this show is called the 3-year anniversary of when AEW started with Double or Nothing in 2019. And with that, guys, that's my review. What are your thoughts on Dynamite this week? Again, I gave the show a B. Make sure to leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure as always to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirboy93. Till then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you all later. Have a great rest of your night. Peace out, everybody.
Yeah, no one will surprise. There's no